If you're struggling with an eating disorder, anxiety, or OCD, and you're in the midst of it at the moment and you just feel like you can never envision how your life could be any different to how it is now, watch this video. I was speaking with someone the other day about this dilemma that I've been having, in that I really want to make more content on eating disorders. I feel like because of what I've gone through, I feel like I've got a lot of knowledge on the topic, and I feel like I could provide some valuable insight and some good content on it, especially as a guy as well. I don't think there's enough being said. And for this page, the amount of overlap that there is between OCD and eating disorders, I think it could be helpful. But I keep coming up against this weird block in that I can't seem to access that experience anymore, which from a content creation standpoint is really frustrating. However, I've been reflecting on it a little bit, and I actually think that's really nice. And I actually think this is a really good thing, because at one point, that, for me, my eating disorder absolutely consumed my life. I couldn't ever envision a time where that just wasn't a thing and this wasn't how I lived anymore. I couldn't fathom the idea of that. It was absolute hell. All I could ever think about was food or control or my body or what I looked like, binging and purging. It just infiltrated every layer of my life. It just became this cloud that followed me everywhere. It would ruin so many social events as well, and I just end up being so isolated and lonely. But now I can barely remember what that was like, and when I do try and reflect on it to try and make content, my brain's just like, oh yeah, that's that thing that we just went through, or that thing that happened that time a while ago. I can't really access that anymore. And also, just a quick side note before I go further into this, like before I was a therapist, I was a chef, like a chef with an eating disorder. So when people talk to me about exposure therapy, like, yeah, I get it. I've been through a pretty extreme version of it myself. And when I say that I understand when things feel unbearable, trust me, I understand. And this can easily apply to anxiety and OCD recovery. You know, that feeling of being stuck, lost, and just all consumed by it. How on earth am I ever going to live my life again without this being the central focus of it? What if I'm like this forever? What if I never feel normal again? What if I can never unhook from this symptom or not have an awareness of this feeling ever again? It can be really easy to start feeling like this is you forever. But yet now, here I am, trying to write content about a period of my life that felt like it was never ending, and it took up so much room and so much space in my life, and I could never envision myself not being like that in the future, and I can't access it. It no longer feels present. I feel like I've genuinely detached from it. At one point, I didn't believe that it was possible, but it is, and it is for you too. So if you're in that place right now where it just feels all-consuming and you can't envision a future in which anxiety, OCD, or an eating disorder is so central and so important to your life, it's possible and you can get there. It doesn't stay like this. You can forget, you can detach, and you can move on. You can end up building a life that is no longer centered around this.